Hey guys, it's Claude, and today's deck opening is for Dennis Aarsen. We're just going to grab this one right here. Good luck to you, sir. Tomorrow will be our last patron opening for a specific patron. Then we're going to have probably on Tuesday, I would imagine, Tuesday morning. I should be able to get to the two decks that we're opening for the random patrons. Alright. If you guys ever want to support the channel, please check out the link in the description for Patreon. And here we go. It's a orange, looks orange. Mars. Untamed. Shadows. Alright, Mudstorm, the Sorcerer Bear. Simple, fun name. Once again, another crazy cool Archon. Look at that. Big, wide belly there. Got almost like duck feet. And the arms, and these are wings, although at first I was thinking it was like long hair that was coming out in some weird fashion, but it's definitely wings in the back. Alright, good luck. And we are starting off with Untamed. Curiosity, amber whenever you play it, destroy each scientist creature. So only scientists we're going to have in the deck itself would be from Mars. You're not going to find any in Untamed or Shadows, so that's a good tech card. Fog Bank, amber whenever you play it, your opponent cannot use creatures to fight on their next turn. Phylaxia, 4 power, play, gain 2 amber if you control more creatures than your opponent. Bumblebird, 1 power, alpha, play, put 2 +1 power counters on each other friendly untamed creature. They're everywhere, amber whenever you play it. Play, deal 2 damage to each enemy flank creature. Deal 1 damage to each enemy creature not on the flank. It's not bad. Song of Spring, amber whenever you play it. Shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard pile, or battle line back into your deck. Could you imagine if this card would have existed when we had Dust Pixies running all around? That would have been really insane. Save the Pack, oh, perfect with They're Everywhere, I like it. Play, destroy each damaged creature, gain 1 chain. This is definitely a combo you want to hold on to, it's very nice. Nox, 3 power, gets +3 power for each neighbor it has. Key charge, lose 1 amber. If you do, you may forge a key at current cost. The thing I've noticed about AOA, yeah, you still get to do the key charge sometimes, but it's not quite as reliable because I feel like Untamed is missing a little bit of the amber it used to have. Grove Keeper, 3 power at the end of your turn. Give each neighboring creature a +1 power counter. Fanghouse, 3 power, Assault 3, Hazardous 3. Ooh, Dusk Witch. 1 power, Omega. So it's the last thing you can do on your turn. Elusive, your creature's interplay ready. Depending on what we have inside of Shadows and Mars, this could get real nasty. Depno Spymaster, 1 power, Elusive. Omni, choose a friendly creature. You may use that creature this turn. I like that card quite a bit. Yancey Gang, 5 power, Action, steal 1. So this goes great with that Dusk Runner. Umbra, 2 power, Skirmish, fight, steal an amber. Also another good card for that. Swindle, it's alpha and omega. Play, steal 3 amber. Depending on the situation, this card can be really good, or sometimes it can just be bad, depending on how late the game is. Still, it has some value late game, because maybe it's the card that can swing the game for the last key. Sucker Punch, amber whenever you play it. Alpha, play, deal 2 damage to an enemy creature. If that creature is destroyed by this effect, you archive Sucker Punch. Good card. And you have 2 of them. Ronnie Wrist Clocks, 2 power, play, steal 1 amber. If your opponent has 7 more amber, you steal 2 instead. Very cool. Really kind of hoping for a second one. Miasma, amber whenever you play it, your opponent skips the forge a key step on their next turn. Knuckles Bolton, 3 power, elusive, and skirmish. Oh, 2 of those. Come on, we wanted 2 Ronnie Wrist Clocks. Dusk Chronicles, amber whenever you play it. If your opponent has more amber than you, you draw a card. If you have more amber than your opponent, archive a card. Bad Penny, 1 power, destroyed, return Bad Penny to your hand. Now you're on to Mars. Oh man, and a lot of people argue this might be the best Mars card. It's Shatter Storm. Lose all your amber. Then an opponent loses triple the amount of amber you lost this way. It's so good for shutting down rush decks, just slowing your opponent down. It's just a really good card. Fantastic. Fluxum Spike, 1 amber whenever you play it. If there are no friendly creatures in play, destroy each creature not on a flank. Mothership Support, amber whenever you play it. For each friendly ready Mars creature, deal 2 damage to a creature. You may choose different creatures each time. Xanthix Harvester, 3 power, cannot be used while it has a non-Mars neighbor. Reap, gain 1 amber. I would have much rather seen it said cannot be used to reap if it has a non-Mars neighbor. That way we can still at least use it. Sometimes I feel like your opponent can just play around it and make this card useless. Tixel Beambuckler, 4 power, 1 armor. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature, move it to either flank of its controller's battle line. Mother Gun, it's an artifact. Action, reveal any number of Mars guards from your hand. Deal damage to a creature equal to the number of Mars guards revealed this way. 2 Mother Guns. Mars needs Amber. Amber whenever you play it. Each damaged enemy non-Mars creature captures 1 Amber from their own side. Love that. Ixixli, Fixed Finger, 2 power, 2 armor. Elusive, each other Martian creature gets +1 armor. Glixel Proliferator, 3 power, Reap. If it's on a flank, archive a Mars card from your discard pile. That can get pretty nasty. Collector Worm, 2 power, 5 armor. Fight, archive the creature. Collector Worm fights. If that creature leaves your archives, put it into its owner's hand instead. 1 last card, and it's Carpet Philoxum. 1 Amber whenever you play it. If there are no friendly creatures in play, deal 4 damage to each creature. So you have both different Philoxums. Not sure how I feel about that, because I feel like you have a decent amount of creatures in here. First thing we're going to check as always, let's get the Amber. It's always nice to see just how much Amber you're going to generate in a game, just playing through the deck once. Okay, we're not really going to count these, but there's a chance at least one of those will activate. So I guess we can just kind of add 1 to our total count. Alright, so I said 1 thanks to those 2 shadow creatures. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13 at least, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, probably 19, 20. 20 is actually not bad at all. Let's get our Amber control up. I like seeing the number 20, that's kind of impressive. Whether it's Amber control or just things that kind of slow down the opponent a little bit as far as forging is concerned. Shatter Storm, how amazing. Having both Shatter Storm and Swindle is pretty nice. Alright, so we got the Gang and Umbra. Once again, that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a cool thing with the Glixel Proliferator, there's a good chance you can return either one of these, get these back in your archives and set up a big play. That's really cool. So you're looking at potentially a little bit more than 5 Amber control. That's pretty solid, especially whenever you consider 2 of these are really big Amber control, Swindle, Shatter Storm, and others can be pretty good Amber control, like Ronnie Wristclocks and Mars Needs Amber. So that's a pretty solid Amber control there. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about what this deck does. Oh, one other thing real quick. If you have 2 Sucker Punches, don't be afraid to lose one. Just play it, not necessarily be able to archive it, because you're going to have another one that you can save, so that's kind of nice. It's weird that we have both Philoxums, because the deck is going to have quite a bit of creatures. Let's count those up, actually. You had a lot of Amber, decent Amber control, and I felt like you had a decent amount of creatures as well, so this deck might perform pretty well. Didn't really see any combos with bad pennies, so you might want to discard her every time you draw her. Let's count them up. 5, 10, 15, 18 creatures. Okay, pretty good. Yeah. I'd say 17 and above is a pretty solid creature deck. So that's pretty interesting to me. I also love, as I said, the combo that you have of They're Everywhere plus Save the Pack is very nice. I mean, look at that. This knocks out your opponent's board unless they have armor floating around somewhere. That's just really solid. As I said, if you draw one of these, I would do my best to hold on to them, unless you really have to play one because there's a creature you just have to get off the board. But yeah, overall pretty nice. Like that you got the big power creature here, Nox. You're able to also pump it up with Grove Keeper, so this can take out several of your opponent's big creatures. Fang House is pretty good. Dusk Witch, you have a couple cards here that people have to deal with immediately as soon as they see them. The Dusk Witch, the Depno Spymaster. Ooh, actually, one other thing. Knuckles Bolton, next to, where are you here? Grove Keeper. Making some big power skirmish guys is actually pretty nice. I kind of like that. But yeah, and the Spymaster being able to use any other house right away, so maybe the Harvester, or just getting an additional Reap is very nice. Oh, imagine being able to use a Proliferator on any turn. It doesn't have to just be Mars. That's really solid. Same with Collector Worm. Wow. That Depno Spymaster is pretty nice. I wish we would have had one taunt in here just to really abuse it. The steel in here is good. Yeah, the board control is okay. It'd be better if we didn't have so many creatures since we have both Philoxums, but there are ways to kind of make our creatures survive. Fog Bank helps out with that as well. Let's see here. Mothership support. Yeah, Mother Guns. Man, I feel like your Mars turns. The Mars house isn't insane, but I feel like it's a fantastic support house. It's a nice house to spread around some damage, also with Save the Pack, just in case you can't draw into They're Everywhere. So maybe you can set up a Mars turn followed by Untamed to be able to just take out the biggest cards your opponent's bringing to you, or just setting up a little bit of damage for the Mars Needs Amber. That's really good in here too. Yeah, this deck is really solid. Has quite a bit going for it. Song of Spring, I still haven't found a real good deck for that yet in AOA. Obviously, it's only in AOA. My problem is this isn't a card you want to hold on to. So if it just so happens you draw it late, that's great, because you can maybe put Grove Keepers back in, get the Dust Witch back out. Bumblebird, questionable. But yeah, Nox and Fanghouse are still great targets. Flaxia for sure. But like, I always feel like I'm always drawing this early, and it's just something that doesn't have any good effect for me. So it's always a shame. I said it would just be insane if you had things like Dust Pixies that can already be in the battle line, shuffle it back into your deck, be able to get the 2 Amber again just for playing it. That's solid. But yeah, this deck is pretty good. I do like it quite a bit. I said definitely always discard that bad penny every time you get to it. You just have kind of the right amount of steel, the right interactions with your opponent. Yeah, it's pretty good. The damage, yeah, damage is really there. The Sucker Punches, Mother Guns, they're everywhere. Mothership support. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty good performer. So let's get to the rating of this deck. I think with the amount of creatures it has, with the amount of Amber it has, I think it's going to put your opponent on a clock. I think it, once again, just has really big answers to Amber Rush, which is really nice. Even sometimes just having a Shadow Storm where you play out maybe 3 or 4 Shadows cards, one of which is Miasma, to try and hope to draw into your Shadow Storm could be pretty big against some of the Amber decks. So the rating for this deck, I think it's going to be right around a B. It's a solid deck. It doesn't look super insane initially, but this might be a deck where as you play it a bunch, you kind of start to find little itty bitty synergies and small combos that just all kind of come together that could bump it up to another level. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.